Hello, everybody. This is Matt Johnson. Welcome back to the latest episode of Real Estate Uncensored. We're so glad you joined us. And while we wait for people to join us live, I just want to speak to anyone that might be watching the replay here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. That way you get all of our future videos as well as other real estate coaching content that lets YouTube know that you're interested in this type of stuff. And then if you'd rather have the audio version just nestled right here in your earbuds, head on over to iTunes or Stitcher and subscribe there. Now, we're going to talk about social media tactics for real estate. We've got a very special guest, and we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. But we're going to get into that in a second. First of all, let me welcome in the co-pilot seat, as always, the junior grandmaster himself, Greg McDaniel. Greg, what's up today?
Matt, what's happening, my dear friend? You know, today I really feel like dog poo. I am not feeling it. I'm dragging. I know Jeff is tired. I know you're tired, but we are professionals. We're committed to make this thing happen. Keep bringing the good information. But I got to tell you something, man. I have so many shout-outs today when we get to this stuff. I've been blown up. I've been texting, calling, emailing, YouTube commenting, replying, literally almost all day long. It's like a switch got flipped somewhere. I cannot tell you guys how blessed I am to have this wonderful problem that you guys are reaching out to me. You're taking the McDaniel Challenge. You're actually getting in contact with me. Guys, I'm starting to double book days because we're coming up on the end of the year. So thank you for taking the challenge. I cannot tell you how thankful I am, Matt. We are truly blessed. And you know what? We had that goal to reach 750 subscribers by February. We're at, what, 718 right now?
Mm-hmm.
And climbing?
10 away, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll hit that before the end of the year.
You guys are amazing, so thank you. But yeah, Jeff Lobb, you guys. Matt, I'm doing the intro, all right? I'm doing the intro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, good. At least I get to do something important on the show for once. Jeff Lobb, you guys, he is a speaker, trainer, consultant. I learned so much from him when I met him at the CAR Expo in California in San Jose a couple months back. He was doing a talk about social media, and I was taking notes so stinking fast that I said he has to be on our show because the stuff that he's going to bring to you today, please have a pen out and ready to write. Be ready to rewind because you're going to get stuff you're going to have to go back and listen to again. And we're going to let him go off the deep end on what is annoying the crap out of him into the social media world today. So, you know, Jeff, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's our pleasure. I've been telling Matt about you and about the stuff that you've been telling us and about actually, Matt, we have a question from the group that will dovetail directly into him, right?
We do. Yeah, actually, we were talking about this before we went live. So, and this is from the Facebook Lead Gen Scripts and Objections group. It's facebook.com/group/gotobjections run by our friend Aaron Wittenstein.
Yep.
So Jerry Angel asked, what is your setup to capture contact information electronically at your open house?
You know what, and you know what, Jeff, after I quickly chime in here, why don't you chime in because I know you have an answer. But you know, the one thing that I learned from Jeff is the fact of a website or a app called storyapp.me.
Yep.
It's a great way that you can, it's a digital business card, guys. You can go there, you put your profile photo, your bio, all your social media links are right up on you. I mean, it gives an opportunity for them to get to know you very easily. So what you do is, let's say I meet Jeff in an open house, right? And Jeff and I hit it off, and all of a sudden, you know, I say, gosh, Jeff, what's your information? What's your cell phone number? I'm going to text you my info. So I just text him a link, and it would be gregmcdaniel.com. So go get your name.me.info.com, whatever.
Yep.
And then you text it to them. He clicks on the link. It automatically puts my contact info into his phone. I get his cell phone, and now I can follow up with him, and I know that he didn't give me bad information. So that would be my way of doing it. But, Jeff, what would you do?
Sure, and let me dovetail off that for a second because there's a new feature put in there. There's actually now a share button that if you and I were in conversation with each other, I hit the share button. Now I could type in your name and information, your email address, and any information that I can extract out of you. And once I get that out of you, I could literally take your information and dump it into my contacts as soon as I hit the send button as well. So it's sweet. You know, I did a study. I'll share real quick before I get into my open house suggestion. And this is crazy because I never thought I would have got the answer. But I asked over 200 live audiences this question. If I gave you my business card, which is the most valuable sales tool we still have, if I gave it to you, where's my card in 5 weeks?
Garbage.
Number one answer, garbage. Number two,
Lost
piled somewhere on my desk, lost somewhere. There's like 2% of the people that have the discipline to maybe scan it or Evernote it with Scannable or one of these apps that are going to do something with Camcard. And even then, they still don't have all the digital links most of the time. That, first of all, I can say this here, but throwing my card out really just pisses me off. Like, that's just something that really bothers me because, you know, you hand these people cards, you spend a lot of money with, whether it's with, you know, a big vendor or custom edges or colors, and they toss them on you.
Mm-hmm.
So no more in today's day and age is that going to happen. Now, you want my business card? I share it to you digitally. I get your information, you get mine, but the first thing that happens is my information dumps into your phone. And that's where I got to be, is I got to be in your device.
Absolutely.
So that's the spin on that. So to me, all day long at Inman or conferences, wherever I'm going, they want my card, I send it to them digitally because I know they're going to throw it away. So boom, done. StoryApp.me is what saves me from that. So AM Open House. AM Open House is an app. It offers single property websites at the house. It's iPad, tablet friendly. What it does is it creates a beautiful mobile optimized and tablet optimized site for that house. It's clean, it's sexy, it's easy to use and easy to do, but here's the more important part, is it has all of the automated follow-up systems that have to happen after the transaction or after they leave. So automatic emails will go out. Automatic follow-ups will go out. You do them once, they're automated to go out the door. A lot of agents can do all this and never do the follow-up properly. It will also, it'll send automated price reductions to the homeowners or to the people that visited automatically. Has an invitation built that if you're door knocking, which you should be door knocking, before that open house, inviting those neighbors for an exclusive 1-hour visit before the open house, your end game is to talk to them about market value of their property, have a link and an invite to them so you have another reason to get their email address and a way to contact them when you're door knocking them. So all that being said, the best part about the whole thing is the price. It's free.
That's fantastic.
It's free. AM Open House, it's free. I happen to know the gentleman that developed it. He's a sharp guy. Stuff keeps being added and added, and I keep going, it's still free. It's still free. So check it out, AM Open House. It's my way of leveraging that type of open house technology.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, you know what, Jeff? Before we get back to Matt and we start doing the shout-outs, have you ever heard of Home Buzz?
Nope.
It's a new technology. It's an opportunity. They're just starting to branch out in different parts of California, and it's an opportunity where it's an app. It's free again. You can go in and create an account as an agent. Then you can go rate houses and give them, you know, what your thoughts are, so that you can start. And then you get a rating of how close you were to the actual sales price. So then you can post that at your social networks and everything else.
That's cool.
Very interesting thing you can do for an open house as well if you're going around through open houses. But anyways, I'll share that with you when we start talking again. But cool. Matt, back to you, my friend. What are we doing? Shout outs, or what are we doing?
Yeah, well, I guess let's give a quick shout out to a couple of lovely and talented sponsors, and then you can give your personal shout out. So first of all, Viral Marketing, just want to thank them real quick for cutting a check to make hangouts and podcasts like these happen. You can check them out at getviral.com. And then Equity, of course, the online buyer lead generation platform that's built from the ground up specifically for solo agents. So if you want to generate buyer leads online, make sure that you could take the McDaniel Challenge, obviously, get in touch with Greg, and he can let you know what's available in your market, if it's available, when it's coming, and if it's already available, then you can get you hooked up to start with that program. So, Greg, what do you got for personal shout-outs?
First, guys, remember, the McDaniel Challenge is get a hold of me on my cell phone, 925-915-1978. Call me, text me, set up a time with me to do a private coaching hour with me. I am booked through the end of the year, guys. We're going to start booking for January at this point, but it's super awesome. I got blown up today, like I said in the beginning, but again, remember, 925-915-1978. Do not make me spend a night by myself. I hate that. Okay? Bothers me. Okay,
right, so Jeff,
today,
let's get into it.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Dude, shout out, player.
Oh, that's right. Personal shout outs.
You're hating the people who call us.
I know.
Okay, so Trey, dude, I can't wait to get you on the show later, early this coming year. Guy did 40 deals his first year, unreal. But he hit me up. We're going to talk with him. Chris had a great time talking with him last night. He and I think, are going to start co-sharing our YPN together, so that was pretty fun. Scott, new agent out of Naples, Florida. I'm going to talk to him. Josh, dude, amazing to speak with you as well. I had so much fun. Jordan, dude, I don't know what to say. I think, yeah, amazing. Joe, thanks for hitting me up on YouTube. I'm sorry I totally screwed up your phone number and we had to reconnect, but this guy's going to be like #1 in his marketplace, guys, down in Louisiana, in this coming year. He loves the videos, man. Cherish, good talk last night again. I'm really proud of you for doing all those things that we've talked about. I hear a different girl behind that phone now, so I'm happy for you. And then Rod, I cannot wait to do your show on the ESPN channel. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for forwarding me the information and getting you on the calendar. And then last but not least, Freeman, for talking to me about equity. We will get back with you, and we will get that launched in your area probably beginning of next year when you start your team. So thank you, guys. Thank you for reaching out. I love to talk with you guys, and I love to see you grow. So there are my shout-outs, man. We're going to have it was fun.
That's a lot. Good Lord. All right.
I know, and I did that fast.
Crank them out.
I could have rambled, too.
All right.
Oh, and then tonight, dude, I get to talk to Alex from Australia, man. How cool is that?
Oh, that's right.
How cool is that? And he confirmed back, so we're going to knock it out of the park today. I get to talk down under. I hope that was an Aussie accent.
Yeah, close enough. New Zealand. I'm sure they won't be offended at all.
Oh, no, because aren't they the same country?
Yeah, exactly. It's all the same.
We just lost all our viewership.
That's right. All right, Jeff. So let's talk about social media tactics. You want to start off with so what are most agents like? What are some of the mistakes that you're seeing in terms of social media that real estate agents specifically are making? Because I wanted to mention this to folks that you're not just a vendor, you're not just a tech guy, you are a licensed agent. You're not necessarily practicing, but you know your stuff, right?
Yeah, I've been selling for 24 years, so I've been through ups and downs. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what are some of the mistakes that you're seeing real estate agents make in social media?
The first one, which isn't as bad as my second one, so I'll start off easy, is social automation. Social automation. People thinking that it could just be, I'm going to push one button and I'm going to take care of it all, and I'm just going to let some computer talk to my customers for the next ongoing several years. It makes me nuts. You can't be social and be automated in the same context. It doesn't make sense. So I'm watching agents, thinking they're gonna, I need a business page, but I don't have time to do it, so I'm gonna just pay somebody to automate stuff. And yet, there's nobody talking, there's nobody engaging, there's no good content, or content's generically there, and it's defeating the purpose. Just save your money. Save your money and do something else. I mean, we could teach people how to take a business page and teach them how to go prospect with it, and it costs them nothing. Mm-hmm. Yet they're going to pay somebody to post nonsense.
Yep, so, I'm doing it right now, and guess how much response I'm getting? Big donut hole. Nothing.
You're automating, right?
I'm automating. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I'm sorry too. Trust me.
All right, so here's what you do. You want just a little tip? I mean, people don't like prospecting. They hate knocking on doors. They hate going to talk to people. Yet that's our job. Our job is to talk to people. So create a page. Take a business page. Create a niche. Something like, give me the town you reside in, or town that's big town you're near that you market in.
Danville.
Danville, okay. So Facebook.com/top 3 in Danville. Top 3 what? You know what? Top 3 restaurants, top 3 places to shop, top 3. And what you do is you take your top 3 page, and you being the local expert for Danville, you go talk to 2 or 3 of your favorite restaurants. Hey, Mike and Samantha, Jeff Lobb with XYZ Realty. A lot of my customers ask me all the time, where's a good place to go eat? I just moved to town. Where should I go try? I've created a page just for you guys. Top 3 in Danville, meaning the top 3 restaurants. I would like to make you guys one of my top 3. Would you mind if I promoted your business, took some pictures and photos, and leveraged it on my Facebook page to all my customers? Would you have a problem if I did that?
Nope.
Right? Now, how hard is that to prospect? Because see, what I learned is this. When I was selling, I took a lot of listings when I sold, and that was my thing, and I talked to a lot of people. But I also learned if I could talk to businesses that are in my local market, not only do they know thousands of people that live in my community, if I could get them as my affiliate or on my side, anytime they heard the word real estate and I was friendly with them, I became that guy. Yeah. So I said, let me promote them first. Let me blow them up. So I make them part of my top 3. What do I get? Photos, relationship with them, go have lunch with them, and now I become their BFF. That's what happens. Now, do you guarantee to get business from it? No. Could you get them to engage on your system? Yes. But now you've got a new person that knows thousands of people that you could talk to, that they're going to recognize you, that you're going to frequent. Do that with a dozen other businesses. And I say call it top 3. It could be living in Danville. It could be best of, Danville. Something that when you could walk in the door and talk to a customer and say, I want to promote you as one of the best to all my customers. They're going to love you for it. As a matter of fact, the first time I did it, I tell this story all over. The people asked me, well, how much? What's it going to cost? I'm like, no, I'm not selling you anything. I think you're one of the best. I want to make sure all of the people that I sell homes to in this Danville market know that. So I need a place to send them. And in turn, hey, if we could do business together on some other real estate stuff, I would love to work with you.
I like that a lot.
It's an easy prospect. You know how many customers I've gotten just from 1 or 2? I say restaurant business because that was my first one I walked in on. But insurance companies, the Verizon store guy or gal, the hair cutting shop, all of them need help. So you get community built stuff. They provide content. You get to talk to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect combination of high tech and high touch, right? Which is most people either tilt towards one or the other. That's right. The power is in combining both, right? So if you just walked in and you were nobody and you had no online presence and you go, hey, I want to promote your business, you have no blog, you have no social media page, you have nothing behind you,
that's right.
That's less effective. If you have nothing but a Facebook page or a blog and you never actually get out there and talk to people, it would be very ineffective.
Sure.
So yeah, it's the combination of both of those things. And Greg, that's what you're really good at. You've taken that to another level with bringing them into your videos as well for your video blog. And so that's always an option. And of course, there's lots of streaming video applications and stuff like that to do that with. But the principle is the same. Get out there, meet with people, build your referral relationships, and then back that up with like a local neighborhood blog or a social media outlet so that you can build yourself up as an expert in the neighborhood.
Yeah, Jeff. I mean, to build off the your original idea, I mean, like Matt was saying, with the streaming apps, get people on Meerkat, Periscope, Blab, and set them up. Build the relationship, get the photos out. Say, hey, let's do a Meerkat today. We'll schedule it up. You post the link out. No, okay, now let's do a Blab. Now walk me through your restaurant. Show me what you guys doing. Okay, let's promote you again because are you aware of Catch.com or Catch.me?
Catch.me, yeah.
Catch.me, where you can save it all now. I mean, that just seems a great way to continue that marketing relationship with the restaurant, shop owner, boutique, coffee shop, whatever, right?
Yep.
It just keeps giving them free marketing value, which they can re-content back onto their site.
I think you take that. You see, most agents are afraid to go there, first of all, but you have that video leverage. You create the relationship first. That's your first visit. You post up, take pictures. Your second visit is now go back to that same pizzeria guy and say, listen, now I want to do some video with you. What's your favorite pizza? What's the coolest pizza you make? Let's make one together. Video it coming in. Hey, I'm here at Mario's. He's making the ultimate pizza. Check this out. And now you're promoting him like a mini TV show on your Facebook page. And at the end of the day, still cost you nothing, and it's better engagement than you've ever had on a Facebook page at all. So that's where you keep going with it. See, you could take it to the next level and beyond. I have to get people first to buy into the idea that I have to go prospect.
It's so true.
Let's get over that,
Yeah, I have to talk to a human? Oh, shit.
Right. I mean, how much easier can I make that?
You get to have free pizza.
But it's a good point, like Jeff. I mean, here's why people have a problem prospecting. They feel like they're taking value. Yeah. I mean, let's be brutally honest. That feeling you get, that call reluctance or whatever that is, that reluctance to get out of the car and knock on the door, it stems from the fact that you believe at a fundamental level that you are taking value from the other person.
That's right.
If you put yourself in a situation where you genuinely believe that you're offering value to them, now some people can brainwash themselves into believing that when they sell something to somebody that is them bringing value, and that's great, good for them. But if that's not you, that's not most people. Putting yourself in a situation like Jeff that you described, where you're going into somebody, they have a goal. You can help them get to that goal because you can help them promote their business, find their ideal client, whatever that is, and it's not going to cost them anything. You're just investing your time because you know it's going to pay off down the road. That completely removes that reluctance, right?
That's right.
And I think the problem is for most people they don't have that long-term view. The people they can force themselves to prospect or whatever, but they're always looking for, where's the next deal going to come from? They can't think in those terms of, I'm going to build a relationship that he might not send me a referral for 12 months, and I'm okay with that.
That's right.
But that's really the key to that. It's leading with value, going in indirectly, and then building a relationship to where 12 months 18 months, 24 months down the road, you might get one deal or 5 deals out of that. You never know. But the point is that the asset is the relationship.
Right.
Right,
You know,
but the fact is, I mean, the shop owner or whatever else might not be the lead source. It could be someone coming in from out of town or someone from around town that goes, this guy knows what he's talking about. He knows the market. This is a true professional. I want to call this guy.
Yeah, well, there's two. Yeah, there's two assets there. You've got the asset of the relationship with the dozen or so businesses that you prospect. Then you've got the asset of the content, that's a whole other conversation. But that's the combination of the high tech and high touch. You have the asset of this library of content that presents you as the expert just by association. You don't have. I mean, you can be a total ding dong as long as you can get on, as long as you can get on the camera and ask a few halfway intelligent questions. That's all you have to do, and you present yourself as an expert in the neighborhood. Great, fantastic.
That's it.
Yeah.
And think about this though too. Sometimes we underestimate our local community. You know, we drive by it, we walk by it. Just take the local little sandwich shop, the mom and pop sandwich shop. You walk in, you eat every day, you're in a hurry to get the hell out of there. When first of all, 99% of the people that walk through that door are potentially your customers. You're just not talking to them. The owner of this Subway shop that just makes subs talks to these people all day, every day, because that's how they keep busy in communication. And who else does this sub guy know? He knows 20 other businesses in the same town that he talks to that know hundreds of other people. One good connection there can turn into some ridiculous, hey, Jeff, I need new commercial space. Hey, Jeff, my grandmother has to rent someplace. It turns into they know everybody, and we just look down on them sometimes. Hey, they're just a local business. They are a huge connection to referrals if you take care of them first. Help them first. It's a home run. Just go do it.
You got to give before you get. Always give before you get. Never try to take.
So that's what I did. That was my target, was businesses. And I didn't. Now, keep in mind, Facebook wasn't born when I started in '88. So I evolved through using
just MySpace then.
Yes. I used to use. I had my pager. You know, I had the fax machine. We were cool kids back then. You know.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got in the business, I was so excited to get the first offer ever. I was about 21 years old, and it was coming in on the fax. And it wasn't like the normal paper fax. It was like that long, shiny paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was high tech, man.
It evaporated like after 6 days. It started to disappear. You just lose the end. Yeah, you better hope you do. Yeah, I had that.
It was like Periscope of paper.
Yeah, Periscope.
It's the high touch of Periscope. Oh, that's
exactly.
funny.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. So obviously not a big fan of social automation. That seems to be the shortcut. I think here's the mistake that I see and why people look to something like automation. And I mean, and we use it in the sense that we give people an outlet and a way to follow the show, even though it's an automated outlet. It's just like a reminder of when we go live and when we don't, because we don't want to bombard their email inbox with reminders of when we're live and so forth.
Sure.
So we give people an outlet to follow, and there's a place for that, right? There's a place for setting up a Twitter feed that's nothing but an outgoing stream of information that people can keep up with. I think the trap for people is they feel like if you're one place, you have to be every place. And you had some very good advice, which I think and just to steer you in this direction, you were talking about kind of having a channel and doing it right. I think, would you say that it's better to have one channel and actually engage than to have 10 channels where you don't engage? Like, why do people feel like they have to be everywhere all the time?
I think that's the shiny object syndrome we face. Is I think, if you took a look at typical real estate agents, took 1,000 real estate agents and looked at their Twitter accounts, I bet you most of them haven't sent the tweet out in months. They just signed up for it. They have it. Look, I'll be the first one to tell you. You don't have to do half of this stuff. If you don't understand it, you're not going to be present and available. Just get off the platform. Go create a Facebook page that gets engagement and make that work first. Go create really good Facebook lists and talk to your customers every day because they're talking. And then no one says you got to do all this other stuff. Just focus on what works and get it to work. Period.
Yeah. Love it. 100% agree. I don't understand Twitter. I literally do not understand Twitter. Yeah. And so I'm on there. I mean, we post stuff for the show, and I'm trying to work on it. But it's the same way. It's just I like Facebook. I like YouTube. I mean, those are platforms that I understand.
Yeah.
So
use them, and they all work. Just got to use them. And I'm not even gonna say total automation. I'm talking about the automation that just people think they can hire a company to post what they're supposed to be talking about. Articles.
Outsourcing.
Yeah, I mean, if there's stuff for repetitive reminders, of course we have to create systems. But I'm talking about outsourced social stuff where you should be talking to people, some computers pumping articles out to them. I can hire my kid to do that. It still doesn't mean it's going to work.
Yeah, it's not so social.
That's social. That's like me going on a date. I'm going to go on a date, but I'm going to send somebody else just in case. I'm not going to send me.
Well, first of all, that service sounds fantastic. Where can I buy it?
I'm going to go on a date, but I'll send somebody else because I'm going to automate my services.
That's right.
Evaluate her and get back to me. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
oh, no re-engagement? No re-engagement?
Please.
I wonder why.
No reviews? I'm out.
All right. So what? So we were talking about this a little bit before we went live. So what is your stance and your feeling about automation? What's the proper role of automation when you're talking to your clients or potential future clients?
I think there's some really simple things that if we actually did every day and productively did it's, and I'll tell you, it's real simple. We have CRMs, for example. The majority of agents don't even use a CRM, but they're out there. Tons of them out there, dozens of features, most will never use. So that being said, I take a look at how typically agents communicate. Let's talk about after the sale for a second, right? During the sale, it's a whole love affair. You're texting, talking, kids. I like to say it's like the whole marriage thing. It is. It's a love
affair.
It is. Here it goes. Ready? You just meet. We're going out on our first date, right? You get through showing and all this kind of stuff and all this funky stuff. What happens? You're texting, you're emailing, you're in this whole love affair process until it's time to actually write a contract. We write the contract. You just got engaged. We just made that commitment, right? Because now it's the whole goal is this nightmare to get to closing with TRID and home inspections and all this other nonsense. Here we go. We get to the wedding day. It happens. It's done. It's hairy. We get it done. 3 days later, you cash your check, then you're divorced.
That's a great analogy.
You're not going to talk to them again. You're going to put them in a system that's going to drip on them, drip nonsense of change your clocks. And I'm one of the few that actually aggregates all of agents' drip mail stuff that I collect because I am still shocked that I still have to actually look at this stuff. Time to change your clocks. Here's a good chicken recipe. If you're going to bake a cake this weekend, here's a good, so here's what I do. I take all these things on a screenshot, and I ask the audience live. I'll say, listen, how many of you get some kind of drip mail from another type of company in your inbox weekly or monthly? Everybody raises their hands. Great. So the question now is, what do you do with it? Top answer, throw it out, delete it, just get rid of it. So then I say the second question. If you delete it and thinks it annoys you, what makes you think it's a great idea to do to your customers after the sale? Are you doing it because that's what you're told to do? Because it doesn't work. You send me stuff on chicken recipes, and here's a true story I could bring this full circle. I think realistically, if you leveraged creating Facebook lists of your customers, and a list is simple to do, people probably have tons of lists, but a list for your customers, a list for your friends and family, a list for your colleagues in your office, and if every day on your mobile device you went and checked your list of your customers talking every day, and you engage with them a couple times a week. Oh my God, your daughter's graduating. Oh my gosh, it's her birthday. I can't believe he's driving already. All of this stuff. We've never had a tool in our lives that allowed us to talk to our customers like this. So that being said, you could talk to your customers every week. A guy I referred business to, next state over, 7 years ago, true story, sold my in-laws' house. Did a fantastic job. Went through a lot of crap, got the job done. He puts me into 2 drip marketing systems. One is for recipes and all the personal nonsense. The other one is like some mortgage finance newsletter crap. And it's crap. If I wasn't in the business I am, I would have thrown them out. But I collect them now because I think it's fun.
Some people collect stamps. You collect junk mail.
I use it in my presentations to show you what not to do. Because here's what happens. 7 years goes by. It's 7 years to this date. In 7 years, I've moved my home, my family. I've had 3 more children. My career has changed. And I've done all of the things, tons of other things have changed in our lives. He knows not one thing about it because he's never communicated with me. And he thinks these silly drip things are a reason to stay in front of me. If he'd have had a Facebook list, he would know actually probably I'm on the air with you guys right now because I post everything of my life online, and he'd be talking to me. He would know I've had children. He's not paying attention. He's not listening to what I'm doing. So I think if you leverage Facebook lists, I think leverage it better than your CRM to me, it's listening to your customers when we never had a chance to listen to them before. Every day, if you listen to them, you'll be better connected than any contact management system out there.
You know what? That is the one thing that when you told me that at the at your presentation, it blew my mind. But the one thing I totally cannot remember what you said to do. How in the hell do you create the damn lists?
Go, I'll mentally describe it. And by the way, that's kind of the training stuff that I have to do this stuff. That's what happens, is you come out of a cool session and go, how the heck do I do it? That's why I created the training platform I did, so you could log in and do the stuff. But basically, go to your friends category, and it'll say create a list.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit create a list, it's going to say name the list. So I name it past clients. Okay? Who's your past client? Type in their names. It'll find them on Facebook. They obviously have to be in Facebook. Now, I just did a session for actually Inman yesterday. We had over 1,000 on the webinar yesterday. I got people still scrounging for the recording of it today. Got a really great response. A lot of people on the Q&A yesterday said, but Jeff, that's on my personal page. I don't put my customers on my personal page. I just use my business page. I get that question. But you know what? That's the tool available today. That's where it is. I'm sorry, if people don't get to know you as a person, then you may not have the like and trust for them to buy from you again.
I agree with you 100%.
A business page to me just gets me the permission to go advertise and be on Google and some other stuff. I don't use it because, and here's the other question, but Jeff, you're not allowed to talk and sell real estate or market real estate. It's a personal page. I'm not marketing or selling anything. I'm building relationships with people. People that I know, people that I don't know, people that I just met. That's a relationship platform. Relationships turn into business, and I'll take my business outside of that. Mm-hmm. So get over it. Yeah. I'll create lists, and I'll talk to my customers every day. I'm not selling or marketing anything. I'm talking to them, just like you should be. Because ask them, when's the last time you talked to your customer you sold a house to 6 months ago? If I had them in my list, and I go on my mobile device, because by the way, you can't create a list on your mobile device. You have to create it on a desktop. Oh, but I access it on my mobile device. I'm standing in line waiting for a cup of coffee. That's what I'm doing. All my customers are saying all sorts of stuff, and I'm staying connected. I comment, I comment, because it filters out all the noise of the feed of that's going on. Right. I just see them. So to me, I say, and I know this is a brash statement, better than any CRM if you actually used it on a daily basis.
No, I agree with you. It's a living entity, quite literally, right, when I say that. I mean, there's no way I know that Matt Johnson moved to San Diego if I wasn't in a partnership with him, because I mean, how the hell am I supposed to know that? It just won't happen. And that's an amazing thing. I'm still trying to figure out where it says create list. Maybe that's just because I'm a technical moron, but we'll move on.
Scroll down to friends. You see your friends, and I'm not looking at it, but I'm visualizing.
Yeah.
Left take, click on friends. Click on the word friends. It should open up a full page.
Mm-hmm.
Top. I think it's up top. Friends, create friends.
I have find friends, edit privacy. Anyways, more. Right, well, I'll talk offline with you.
I'll find it. It's there. It's either up top or they moved it down the bottom. It's on that page, though.
Okay.
All right.
But
here, let's see.
There's a lot of.
So if you click on where next says friends, if you click on the word more.
More, yeah.
And then right up at the top is create list with a giant plus sign.
Okay, there you go. So, yeah, I don't want to screw up the stream here, so.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so Jeff, what else have you got? I mean, any interesting, you want to talk about new tools that are coming out that people can take advantage of?
Yeah, I just had the pleasure of going out to London 2 weeks ago. Awesome. Yeah, a client, I call him a client, a prospective client. Been working together on and off with them, but they went into a little bit of a merger acquisition. They had a fabulous product. About 4 or 5 years ago, I met them at NAR. And, part of what I do is people want to throw their products at me all the time to talk about them. And I don't want to talk about anything unless I could visualize how I would use it in front of a customer or on a listing that's going to make sense. So I found this product at the time called Pixeat. Pixeat. That's what it was called. And it was basically a cool virtual tour product that you did with your iPhone or your Android device. All right? You still hear me okay, audio?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Pixeat merged and became a company called Vieweet, V-I-E-W-E-E-T, Vieweet. And the premise is kind of cool. The premise is, you go online to vieweet.com, you buy I don't have it here, but you buy a kit or a case that wraps around your phone, has a little magnet, you put a little fisheye lens, and a monopod that stands on the ground. And some of you might go, oh, that is not going to shoot quality tours. Like, how's that going to shoot a good tour? Well, let me tell you. You shoot 4 photos, and it literally tells you to line up the crosshairs till they turn green and just hold it there. It takes a picture. You turn it 90 degrees that way, and it makes you hold it at 90 degrees and takes the picture. And you do 4 photos. When I tell you it takes pictures truly floor to ceiling in HD quality, that it stitches itself together, and you could put hotspots from one room to the other and walk through the house that way, it's amazing. Now, that being said, where I usually try and have the wow factor, besides being able to show somebody on an iPad and visually look up and down with my finger and drive it, once you turn on the augmented reality, which is on the device, your phone or iPad then becomes a looking glass. So if I turned on augmented reality and handed it to my customer and said, we're going to hand buyers your home as if they're standing in it, and they lift up and down, they see exactly where they're looking by movement. The thing is like $20 a month, and the kit costs maybe $100 for whatever iPhone you have, or $150 one time, and you use the local mobile device in their free app.
That is a trip.
So I said this, listen, you go get it, pick a couple houses, do a couple samples, take it on your next 10 listing appointments, and go kick everyone's butt with it, because it's easy to do. You could do it yourself. I mean, it's not the same as hiring some professional, videographer doing a walkthrough. Maybe you still do that. But this 360 tour, I'm telling you, when I demo it and show it to you live, it blows your mind on how powerful it really is. And I know I could get listings with it. So they're coming out with some really cool stuff. They wanted to share with me their next-gen technology, so I can kind of give them the vision of, will this work in the States? Will it work in Canada? What's the real estate agent think about this kind of stuff? Because they're over in London, Europe, and they have it down in Australia. So they wanted a perspective from a U.S. market. Oh, it'll work. It'll work.
I'm looking at the website right now. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's available now. I've been using it I've got the kits and stuff. I've been using it for about 3 or 4 years. Matter of fact, I was asked to do do you guys ever use Reflector to live mirror on your device? Okay. So if I had my iPhone and I'm at an event and I wanted my iPhone to go live up on the big screen, I download an app on my laptop called Reflector. Costs like $16 for the license. So it allows me to mirror my phone live through my iPad or through my laptop up to the projector. But it relies on Wi-Fi. Now, when you're in some of these big venues, Wi-Fi is dangerous. Right.
Yeah.
So I was asked to demo. I was asked to do a 10-minute presentation down at Retso maybe 5 years ago. And I was still up and coming through some of the speaking ranks. And I had 10 minutes to demonstrate 2 products. I chose at the time, it was called Pixie before it's View It. I chose to demo it. And it relied on me streaming it live on the big stage to put my iPad up on that screen. And I'm telling you, when I hit the augmented reality and I took my iPad and I started moving it and it looked in the same direction and it really worked, you had to hear the audience as if I was like a magician. It was like Copperfield just nailed it, right? I'm like, because it just looked like, how is that happening? And I used I shot it with my eye.
Leaving the building and crying out.
It was crazy. And it was just a $20 a month service and a $100 device, and I shot it with my iPhone. Like, that's what it does. You could go do that too. It was awesome. I'm telling you, when you do it, I'll send you a link to it's amazing.
Yeah. Please do. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so that's a really great way to have an advantage for a very little cost, to market homes.
Yeah, because everyone's looking for that competitive edge, and everyone can do the still photos and everything. But if you have that, it gives you another opportunity to go over and hang out with them. You can do it as your, like you said, as a listing presentation. You go over to do we do a 2-stage listing presentation. Go over, meet them, greet them as you walk through the house. Be like, can I take some photos? Click, click. And they're like, what the hell are you doing? And you explain it to them. They see it. They're like, this dude's next gen. All right. You're like, actually, it's just a camera.
Yeah, and I got one for you there too. Maybe you want a little tip for a little in between your second appointment?
Yes.
Because I was a 2-stepper too, man. I talked to a lot of people. They're 1-step. They go in, close, and of course I know how to compete against that because I would say certain things to the homeowner to set that up so I didn't get slammed before I came back.
Yeah.
Because how could someone evaluate your home before they even walked in your home? Like, how do they bring that with? So I did a 2-step too. So what I did is I took a simple technology like Animoto, which has been around for a long time, okay? But again, it's not about the technology. It's how do you use it that makes it powerful. They came out with their little mobile app, which made it really sexy to do on any device. You're on their first appointment, take all your pictures and photos. You could literally now, because of their mobile app, jump in your car, sit there for 10 minutes, and put together a 30-second animated tour of their home with music and everything, and text it to them as a thank you for having me over. I'll see you on Thursday, back with all the market analysis, everything else. Just wanted to send you a little marketing we're getting started on.
You know what? I've played with Animoto, but I've never played with it in that way. As a text to a thank you for your time. Here's our first step, our first generation of our animation and for your property marketing.
Yep.
And that's something that's both social and you can automate. So you can automate the lower value part of that, which is the putting of the Animoto package together.
That's
Have
right.
somebody do that makes $10 an hour. Send it to you. You text the link to the seller, and it doesn't really cost you that much more time. But holy cow! I mean, what a leveraged way to set yourself apart from other listing agents.
Yeah.
And you know you got to do something and be memorable between then and Thursday or whenever you got to come back, because they're going to be interviewing others. So that was one of the many things that, you know, you could text or email it right from the mobile, and you can literally drag and drop the photos. You pick the music. Once you get used to it, you pick the same theme, the same tunes. It's really, you don't have to look through the library. Just pick the ones you like. Done in 10 minutes, and it's amazing. And then when you go on the listing presentation, have a really good, you know, kick-ass presentation on HD done, and don't not do something else. Add it to what you're doing. It costs you nothing. It's like $200 for the whole year or something. Show them one of the many ways we're going to market your home is this kind of video, and then we're going to do this kind of video. We're going to hit two different types, emotion and visual. You know, however you want to spin it. And then the other last idea is use it for buyers. So you close on a home, you're done, you take the same photos or all your photos, and I always say around a third or fourth slide from the end, you throw your picture in there or your brand in there with a congratulations on your new home, your agent for life, whatever you want to put in there, a phone number, and when you seal that video up and send it to them, they're going to virally share their new home to everybody. You're in it for life. They can't take you out of it, and you're like, you know, you're like their man. So it's a nice little thing to send after. So, you know, value add to the buyer.
I like that a lot. There's what's the Apple the Apple product that makes iMovie. But there's another product I was told about. I don't know the name of it because they couldn't remember it. It's a lot easier than iMovie, and I don't think it costs anything. Are you familiar with that one? Because I wish I had the name for you.
To stitch it together, to
It was similar to iMovie, like quality-wise, but it wasn't such a pain in the ass. It was just really easy to do. I'll get it. And I'll send it over to you. So,
yeah, I know some paid versions, but not a free one.
Okay.
Interesting. So before we wrap this thing up, Jeff, I wanted to give you a chance just to talk about kind of where things are going. So we did a whole episode, I think it was last week, on like the 5 marketing trends that should change how you are marketing yourself in the next year. So we've covered some of those things, like the you know, getting back to more humanization, personalization, using technology to leverage that, but still being personal. You know, native content, making sure that you're not just putting stuff up there that's automated and just crap. You know, actually engaging with people. So what are some of the other trends that you see kind of coming down the pipe?
I think the real simple ones that they're just not doing is they're trying to mesh old school technology with new school, and while that makes sense, they're not doing it well enough. In other words, taking like postcard marketing, trying to tie it to a landing page to capture them, but they're still playing too much real estate salesy stuff. They just need to give the consumer the visual look of what they want. They don't want to be intimidated. They don't want to be sold. Just give them a clean slate. And I say very Zillow-like or very Google-like. Too many people are creating landing pages with their face and real estate and all their information. They don't want that. If you're trying to capture them from what's the value of their home, just put what's the value of your home. We're going to get it to you in 10 minutes or 20. Don't put all your crap on there. They think you're going to be sold. So the old school mentality is meshing into the new school, but they got to stop being real estate agents for a second. They have to be marketers. So take off the hat, become a consumer for a while, and think about it.
Yeah.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
Yeah, I'm reading a book by a guy named Jay Samit called Disrupt You.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that one? That's a phenomenal book. You would love that book. Cause what makes me think about what you just said is that the people to stop being marketers is that when he disrupted the music business by working being a big player in downloads and working with all of that side, all those record CEOs and C-level executives all got fired, so they had to do something with it. So they went in and they started to disrupt their environment. They started doing marketing, parts of of what you used to do. I can't talk today whatsoever, by the way. I think it's the flu or whatever I'm coming down with. But yeah, take a look at it. Disrupt You, Jay Sammet, phenomenal book. You will take it and tear it apart and just run with a lot of the stuff that's in there. I know it.
Awesome, thank you. I will definitely check that out.
Didn't you? Is there something that you just really have a bug about social media too? I think you have a shirt that says it.
I do. I have a little bit of a rant. I think some of the lingo is just I don't know. It's crazy. We talk about when Facebook still has the poke button. I think you can poke people. People talk about dripping, and I'll even tell you, 2 days ago, I listened to a guy talk about how many touches he has with his customers, and I'll tell you, the whole thing just freaks me out. I tell people, I don't want to be dripped on, I don't want to be touched, I don't want to be poked. Like, this is just nonsense, and it sounds quite perverted, to be honest. The guy said, I touch my customers 22 times a year. I'm like, that's freaking gross. How do you say that without laughing? There's got to be a better way. Like, do you nurture? Like, we got to come up with some better words, man. How many drips do you have? How many drips? What do you drip? Do you ever really get dripped on?
You can't call it communicating because it's not.
Like, who says? I can't say it. I'm sorry. I break down when I heard it so many times in a meeting the other day. I literally, and I finally, when I told him that little story, he couldn't say the word without laughing. Now he's like, when I touch my, oh God, he's like.
Well, I mean, if you're dripping on your client, you should probably go see a doctor.
There's a problem. Yeah. First of all, dripping is annoying. Don't poke me, or I might swat at you. And it's just the lingo has to change.
I'm laughing because I got poked 3 times today on Facebook. That's why I'm laughing so hard.
Lord. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's still a thing?
It was 3 girls, though. It was 3 girls.
Well, hey, that might be acceptable in some cases.
It's okay.
Right, well, maybe Facebook is Greg's dating site. I don't know. But Jeff, so Jeff, what's the alternative? Obviously, people turn to stuff like that because they feel like they don't have the time to reach out and pick up the phone or actually comment or send them a message through Facebook. I mean, we're going to interview somebody, I think the week after Christmas, who's had phenomenal success using social media because she doesn't do any of the stuff you're talking about, Jeff. She just uses it for personal interaction. Yeah. But there's so many people that feel like they don't have the time for that. So what is the answer as opposed to the dripping, the poking, and the automated stuff?
Well, look. Relationships take work. Talking to people takes work. It's not like it's an easy thing. If you're going to try and talk to 1,000 people at the same time with the same content, it's not going to work for you either way. You might get 1%, if anything, that pays attention. Yeah. So here's what I think. If I was working with you, Matt, what are some things? If you and I were chatting, we decided to go grab a beer. What are the top 2 or 3 things you say you'd like that you engage? Sports? Is it what do you do for hobbies?
Music and travel.
Music and travel, right? So what if I took the time on my rainy Sunday afternoon sitting in an open house doing nothing, and I created 10 different Pinterest boards, pin boards now, of different subjects that people are interested in? What if I took the top 10 musical things that are happening in the world right now, or top 10 things that are happening with sports or football or NFL, whatever's going on, and I had different categories, and I just sent you something. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Check this guy out. Have you seen this before? Something relevant to you, because I know you. You would actually think I personally did it. It takes nothing and costs nothing. But how many other people are interested in, music and sports and everything else? There's probably 10 different things you can come up with. Mm. I would leverage some Pinterest stuff. I would actually, any good article that popped up, see, in my database, I would have some triggers and some search criteria that said, you like music and you like this and you like that. So when that top of mind comes, I can now talk to you with what you want to hear.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. That still takes time, but relationships matter. So I could blast out to 1,000 and get no response, waste of time and money, or I could take 100 and really nurture them and give them stuff that they really is relevant to them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you could do the same thing. I think it was I don't know if it was HubSpot that had a really good post up here within the last couple of weeks about your content bubble or something like that. Like you figure out what your kind of just narrow down what your brand stands for, or you as a person stands for. What are you interested in? Narrow it down to 5 things, and then post on those 5 things. So you can do it at you can do it customer centric. That's fantastic. That's a great way to communicate with your database. But then if you're also like creating a real estate brand, you can do that for yourself and go outward from there. You start with what does your brand stand for? Like, I mean, one of the reasons Jerry Pincus has 40,000 freaking likes on his Facebook page is because his page stands for something, which is it's like the beach lifestyle. Like most of his posts revolve around that, right? So he has this huge following of people that share his images because he actually hand creates this stuff himself, and all is within that kind of overarching theme. He actually has a couple of different themes, but that's the main one, beach lifestyle. It's great to live on the beach. So it doesn't take too much. It really just, it's a matter of finding what you enjoy posting about and what you're reading and interacting with anyway, reposting it and sharing it as you would with your family and your friends and so forth, and then just keeping an eye out for those things that you know, oh, these people would like this, these people would like this. But I love the idea of systems, you know, systematizing it so it's simple. Yeah, and I use retargeting and stuff, some retargeting ads to go back at people to talk about different things. And I was giving an example to a guy the other day that said, you know, I'm down in Florida when it starts to snow up in the Northeast. Oh, everyone wants to be in Florida. So I'm like, okay, so after they visit your site and they leave you, how do you get them back? Like, they saw your stuff, and then they're going to end up on Zillow or somewhere else. How do you get them back? He's like, if I don't capture them, I don't. I said, well, what good are they? He's like, well, what do you want me to do? I go, retarget them. Yeah. He's like, how? I'm like, call up, I use AdWorks, call up AdWorks. They can create a campaign for just your customers or people that have visited your site. They'll drop a cookie on it, and you start having your face show up in New Jersey or New York or wherever the heck you are when it's snowing, and let them look at you down in Florida. He's like, you could do that? I'm like, yeah, and you can create different campaigns for different people. I said, how powerful? I said, if I said to you, go put an ad on CNN and the Weather Channel for your customers. He's like, I can never afford it. Okay, so I'm making this up, say for $100 a month, you could retarget that customer, and after they've hit your site, it drops a cookie on there. They're sitting on the Weather Channel in upstate New York freezing, and there's your face in sunny Florida. You couldn't afford to do that. He's like, show me how to do that. I'm like, okay, we can. Yeah. So we can do that. So you got to think. It's all about strategy. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. It's really just how do you use the technology in marketing. Yeah. I talk to so many people. Like you just said before, Greg. You know, I've had automotive for a while, and that's awesome. You could have had it, but now what ways can I use it that would make sense with that customer? And if I can't figure out that way, I will find something else that can do that. Yeah.
100%.
It comes down to more like thinking about the message that you want to convey. Yeah. Thinking about like what are the points where people, you know, drop off? Where are the points where I lose people in the sales process or whatever the process is? Thinking about okay, well, what message do I want to convey? And then the technology then just becomes the medium for the message. You know, the technology isn't the message. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm still nuts that I'm still shocked. I've told people for the last 5 years, maybe 10, is to stop talking about politics, sex, religion, and all that stuff on social. And every day I still see someone just going off, and they don't get it.
They don't get it. It's a good way to lose clients and offend people.
That's right.
They think that because they get 30 or 50 people on that post that all engage with them and they're all rah-rah about either anti-gun or this or that, what they don't realize is the 10,000 other people that are reading it that are going, what a jerk. I can't believe he's saying that. That's because I had someone just do it in my sphere that I know. I didn't believe she would say this. She made some stupid statement. Honestly, what went through my head is I don't even want to talk to her no more.
Really?
I won't. Just absolute disappointing on her position and her stance and her language about a topic we shouldn't be talking about. And I truly made a decision that said I'm not even going to talk to her no more. She's an ass. It was so far. If she'd have just kept her mouth shut, we'd have been cool. But what she said, because we have, you know, freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I can imagine how many other people felt the same way, but they didn't tell her. She doesn't even know about it.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to a girl last night about this. She's in the Bible Belt, and she's like, "Well, I was thinking about making flyers, and you know, quiz me about Jesus." And I'm like, "No, please don't do that.
Can't do it.
You know, stay away from sex and religion." You know, in politics, at all costs, let them just agree with, nod and smile if they have a comment or a belief. Doesn't matter if you like it or not, and keep on moving.
That's it. Yeah, get out of it. So, you know, I think we covered some cool stuff. I mean, Any other thoughts on anything else you want to share? I don't know how what time frame you guys want to roll with this.
No, we need to wrap things up real quick. I want to give people an opportunity to connect with you, Jeff, and then you mentioned some training programs. So what is that all about?
Sure. Well, my digital business card or my social is jefflobb.me. Keep it simple, one domain, jefflobb.me. You can connect with everything I have there. Training programs, I have a couple cool stuff. It's how to execute. So technically real estate is a training platform that, technically it's about real estate, but really about marketing. It's video tutorials and then webinars, all libraried together so that when you get done hearing stuff like this, or you're a broker and your agents want to know how to do more of this stuff, you can just log into the library, pick a topic, it's a 10-minute video clip, and I'm sitting here like this, showing you how to do it on the screen. Because I wanted to make it feel like as if I was just sitting next to you hanging out, just showing you how to do it, versus formal, stuffy videos that are, 30 minutes at length. Ooh. So I got the library. I do the webinars once a month on an exclusive basis for my clients, and that's all strategy sessions. How to leverage Pinterest. How do I use YouTube better? How do I use this mobile app? A lot of topics. And, it's a great, inexpensive way to learn, but for a broker, too, huge prospecting tool, great way to train their agents. And got some other cool stuff coming down the pike pretty soon. So.
That's okay. Cool, so is it technicallyrealestate.com?
Yeah, technicallyrealestate.com or technicallyre.com.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. I made it really affordable for brokers too. If brokers want a price for their whole office, I make it real cheap. I want them to use it. The goal is to get them to do this stuff and execute. Yeah. My consulting clients on a high level, I help strategize and come up with execution strategies. I created this for agents and broker level because if it's not affordable, they won't do it. But secondly, it's got to be something simple. Simple library, pick a topic, watch the video, go do it.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Very cool, man. And this is why I wanted you to come on, man. We didn't even scrape the surface, and you brought so much value. Thank you so much for taking your time. Like I told you before, I was writing notes down just as fast as I think everybody else was. So really appreciate your time. And guys, go check him out, guys. He really is he's a wealth of knowledge. Wealth of knowledge.
Cool. Yeah, well, thanks for your time, guys. I really appreciate y'all.
Hey, our pleasure.
All right. Well, let's send this baby home. Just a quick thank you to Viral Marketing for sponsoring, podcasts and hangouts like these, and then make sure to take the McDaniel Challenge if you want to check out Equity for buyer lead generation. Take the McDaniel Challenge anyway, just because I'd like to see Greg have to break down and start booking calls for Christmas Day. I think that would be awesome.
Thank you, you hater.
Greg, what's your phone number?
920. So what is your phone number? I got to get your number too.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I deleted it.
My best phone number is 925-915-1978. I am always amused by when they're like, "Oh shit, man, it's really you." like, yeah. Why do you think I'm lying? Hit me up. Let's start booking this me up for January, guys. It is going to be a bitchin' year. So let's make it rain. Get a hold of me, and I will help you guys work through any issues. But I hope you enjoyed this content today. I know I sure as hell did.
Mm-hmm. And another reason to take the McDaniel Challenge is if you want to have us into your office here coming up in the new year to do a Real Estate Uncensored live on either high-tech, high-touch prospecting or any of the topics that we talk about on the show. So take the McDaniel Challenge. Get Greg hooked up with your broker or team leader, whoever makes that decision in your office. That way we can look at coming in and speaking to you live. We'd love to do that coming up in the new year. So with that said, guys, we will send this baby home. Thank you so much. We're going to take a kind of a break, obviously, around the holidays, but we've got one big episode on Friday left. So Jenny Williams, six-figure real estate coach, is going to talk about how to discover your unique edge. Jenny is awesome. I've been doing hangouts with her off and on for, gosh, about a year and a half, something like that. She is phenomenal. It's going to be an amazing episode on how to figure out exactly what separates you and makes you different, and then different marketing strategies to leverage that and position yourself correctly so that you attract your ideal clients. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, cannot wait. I cannot wait at all. It's going to be a great show, guys. But thank you for your time. We appreciate it. We love you. This is for you. This is a fanarchy. Matt and I get a kick out of it. Every time I get to talk to someone, I'm truly blessed and excited to see how I can help and guide their career from if you're already producing or not producing. So, you guys, thank you for spending your time with us. It means a lot for us, and we respect it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you guys on Friday.
See ya.
Yeah. See ya.